It's your favorite YouTube dealer. I appreciate you guys for stopping in. We got some ArrDee today, baby. This one is called Cross the Line. We was just talking about UK artists on my live stream the other day, and I was saying some of the ones that I like to listen to the most. And I had like Skepta, Dave. I've been growing with Chip Fire. At first, it took me a little while because his flow and shit, he be hitting different pockets, but I rock with what he does. And ArrDee was one of them as well. And I feel like there's somebody, H was one, but I couldn't think of ArrDee's name at the time for some reason. And I'm like, yo, there's this other dude. I can't think of him, but he's nasty with it. And this is him. So I feel like I manifested this. Not really, because, you know, not that I matter what I think about, but regardless, I'm just playing around. He dropped Cross the Line. I thought we should dive in. Let me just stop. I'm waffling at this point, right? That's what y'all say. Let's get into this. Let's see what this man was doing with it. I just feel like his writing is so on point. Good voice for it, too.
How can I say that? Let's say that shit like I mean it. If I make you believe my word, but I'm keeping secrets, say that. When I know I don't mean it, but if all that you need's my word, then I'll probably keep it. Start searching and you'll end up hurting. I'm that kind of person. Take perfect for me and ruin her purpose when she doesn't deserve it.
Yo, that's some real shit. Hold up. He started this off crazy.
But if all that you need's my word, then I'll probably keep it. Start searching and you'll end up hurting.
Start searching and you'll end up hurting, right? And it doesn't mean that everybody's doing some F shit. It doesn't mean that everybody got some secrets and all that kind of stuff. But if you search hard enough, you will find something that is going to affect you, right? And part of the reason is because your brain is in a certain thought process to where you're going to search and find some shit that might not even be that big of a deal. Probably harmless. But your mind is looking and creating a scenario and expecting there to be something to the point where you're going to find some shit and create an entire narrative around it and it's going to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Or, I mean, there's a chance that you know what I'm saying? You might just find some shit too that you shouldn't be seeing, but it all depends. Like some people that ain't even in a relationship that seriously will look for something. And it's like, bro, but we not even like that for you to be looking for it. So then when you find it and you get upset, it's like we're not even on that page. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I just like that as an opening line. Like start searching and you'll end up hurting. I feel like that shit is so real.
I'm that kind of person. Take perfect for me and ruin her purpose when she doesn't deserve it. In a selfish world, it's me I'm serving. You only know this version. Don't want to see what's behind the curtain. Dangerous flirting with me, I'm certain. Reoccurring claim I'm changing. This book ain't been open for ages. Breaking down pain between the pages. Should've listened when I played it. I ain't explaining, you'll say save it. Stubborn, stuck in my ways. I tell you I love you and get called crazy. And say what you always say is you don't know what love is. Wouldn't do this if you did. You can't be trusted. And I knew it would be like this.
See, I'm going to say something that's probably a hot take, but I feel like love is such a complex and nuanced thing. People will always say like, yo, if you really loved this person, you wouldn't have talked to this other girl, or the girl, you wouldn't have talked to this other guy. Like, I think it's a little bit different. I know it's another hot take. Let me start from the beginning. Okay, I'm gonna start from the guy's perspective to the girl. The guy being told that if he really loved this girl, he wouldn't talk to another girl, or you know what I'm saying? Like there's certain things you wouldn't have done. And I don't think that means that you don't love the person, right? People will say, well, no, it's not really love. You just think that it is. I think you can genuinely love somebody, right? Because to me, love is like, I want what's good for you. Like, even though I may not be, I want what's good for you. I want to see you succeed in life. If something were to happen to you, I would be devastated, heartbroken. You know what I'm saying? Like all those kind of things. Like to me, love is very complex. It doesn't mean that you're going to always put your best foot forward for this person because we're not perfect. Humans are not perfect. In a perfect world, that is how it would work. But we don't live in a perfect world. So unfortunately, there's going to be times where people are going to make decisions or fall victim to their own lust and attraction or whatever it is, and it doesn't mean they don't love this other person. It just means that they're not perfect, and maybe they're not in a position where they should be in this relationship in the first place, but it doesn't mean that love hasn't really developed for that person. That's my own belief. I stand by that. I know a lot of people don't probably agree with that, and it's a hot take. Now, from the other perspective, and I know this is kind of a double standard, I'm not trying to push this as if it's 100% across the line because everybody's a little bit different, right? Everybody is unique. But for the most part, I do think that it's true that when people say that a woman cheats, there's a lot more emotion involved in it, right? Like a guy could go out to the bar, meet some girl, clap cheeks, go home, and not even think twice about it. Like he enjoyed it, but that's it. I feel like for the most part, not all women, because there's some women that could do that same shit I just said, but there are also some women, or to me at least, from my experience, the majority, where it's like if they were to sleep with somebody else, they've attached some emotion to that situation now. They've attached some emotion to that guy. Now, it could be a night out drunk, and that's different, right? Because you introduce alcohol and stuff, that's a whole nother story because your inhibition is down. You might just be looking for pleasure, and that's all that it is, right? But a lot of times, if it's not like just a random drunk night out, and it's something else, there's usually something else there, right? Because a lot of times women, from my experience and women that I've talked to, they don't always just dive into bed with someone because they're like, yo, this guy looks good. That could be what attracts them to that person initially, but then it's more so other aspects that come into play, personality, stuff like, you know what I'm saying, that get them there. And to me, that means that there's a little bit more of a deeper connection. Whereas a guy will just be like, oh, she's bad, she annoying as shit, hate her personality, I don't like being around her, but I will definitely break her back because I'm just attracted, right? Like, I don't know. That's just my perspective as far as the experiences that I've had, but nothing is 100%. There are people out there that there's guys that are going to be emotional with it and only want to sleep with somebody they have an emotional connection with. I have a friend that's like that, right? And there's going to be girls who are willing to just go out there and get their shit clapped and they could care less about the guy. Like, that is a possibility, but I do think that the majority falls on the sides that I explained. That's just my opinion. So, this whole like, you wouldn't love me if you did that, or you don't love me if you did this and that. I don't really buy into that. I think that sometimes that can be the case, and sometimes it's just familiarity. You get so used to being around a person that you think that you love them. But I do also think that you can love somebody and do shit that hurts them, and it doesn't mean that they should put up with it because you actually love them. It just means that there's a nuance when it comes to love, and maybe you should break up with that person, but it doesn't mean that there wasn't feelings there.
You mean nothing.
I feel like I'm gonna get torn apart for what I just said in the comments. I tried my best to explain it.
Don't say that we do that shit. You don't know what love is.
Let me go back a little bit.
Wouldn't do this if you did. You can't be trusted. And I knew it would be like this. Me and you mean nothing. Don't say that we do that shit. You don't know what love is. You don't. How can I say that? I'll never cross the line. And say that shit like I mean it. If I make you believe my word, but I'm keeping secrets, say that I'll never cross the line. When I know I don't mean it, but if all that you need's my word, then I'll probably keep it, say that I'll never cross the line. And say that shit like I mean it. If I make you believe my word, but I'm keeping secrets, say that I'll never cross the line. When I know I don't mean it, but if all that you need's my word, then I'll probably keep it. Don't wanna lose you, don't wanna leave her. Prick, I hate you, give me my keys back. You're frustrated, baby, don't mean that. Communication, you need a breather. Hug me, where's my squeezer? No, don't touch me, it ain't that easy. Ain't like none of these girls you fuck with. Baby, I know that now, believe me. I mean, I knew that already, I'm ready, I promise you'll never regret it. And if I don't get us, I'll never forget it. Wish I never said it or did it, I'll get it, it's done. No, I know that you're the one, and I do know what love is, I'll give you a son. I don't know nobody tight like us, and she said fine, but I gotta ask you, do you know what love is? Would you do this if you did? Can you be trusted? And will you always be like this?
This is a dope track too.
If what you say is true, that's it. So do you know what love is? Do you? How can I say that? I'll never cross the line. And say that shit like I mean it. If I make you believe my word, but I'm keeping secrets, say that I'll never cross the line. When I know I don't mean it, but if all that you need's my word, then I'll probably keep it, say that I'll never cross the line. And say that shit like I mean it. If I make you believe my word, but I'm keeping secrets, say that I'll never cross the line. When I know I don't mean it, but if all that you need's my word, then I'll probably keep it.
ArrDee is dope, man. Yo, I looked up how old he was before I did this reaction. I didn't know he was 22. Bro, this man is mad young. He got a whole hell of a career ahead of him. So it's going to be interesting to see where he goes with it. Shout out to him. Again, I'm sure some people are not going to agree with me. I did talk a lot in this reaction. I apologize. Sometimes topics come up and I just get real into the topic because I feel like I like when discussions come about, and I like to see your guys' opinion in the comments, and I'm sure there's going to be some people that think I'm crazy for some of the shit that I said, but I stand by it because I feel like for the most part, it's true. And I also think that, and I know this is another hot take. This is a hot take video. I feel like there is something to be said for the fact that, like, there are some animals that get together with another animal and they kind of stay together for the most part, right? But in all reality, a lot of things when it comes to the animal world is reproduction. right? And so we have to acknowledge the fact that we are animals, but we've become conscious. We have the ability to reason. We have the ability to think things through. We have a brain that no other animal in the animal kingdom has, right? And so obviously we are different. And so I get where people don't like to compare us to other animals, but at the same time, I do feel like at the base level of us, there are certain primal instincts where attraction to different people and stuff like that is inevitable. Like, no matter who you're with, you've been married for 20 years, 30 years. Oh my God, my husband is the greatest. My wife is the greatest. They go out and they see people that they find attractive. It's just a matter of us having the thought process to be like, this is not what I'm going to pursue because I shouldn't do it. It's not right. And I love this person and I don't want to hurt them. You know what I'm saying? But to say that they never have the physical want to be like, I'm curious what that experience is like, or you know what I'm saying? I just feel like that's crazy. That I personally think that that's crazy. I think that we all have that. Everybody's gonna go out every once in a while. You're gonna see somebody, talk with somebody, interact with somebody, and in your mind, it doesn't mean you're sitting there and having sex in your head with this person, but in your mind, you're like, ooh, you know. But you know that you've now made a commitment. You love somebody, and your love for them overpowers your want to go and do these things. But it doesn't mean that it just because I'm in love, because I got married, that I see everybody else as just a faceless blob figure. It's just not true. So, you know, life is very interesting. It's complex. And I think that it's fun to talk about sometimes, even though there's some topics that people don't like to talk about. But that's what I like to do. Twitch.tv/DuaneTV. That's where we have those conversations. We also be gaming a lot. So top link in the description if you guys want to stop in sometime. I appreciate you. Take it easy. Stay safe. I will catch you in the next one, homie.